I just want to speak on some things pertaining to the biblical, to the scriptures. Shalom to Yasharel. All praises be to the Most High. Glory to the Holy One of Yasharel. You know, for so long we have been subjected to this Christianity perspective of the scriptures, where we have been handed down the watered down version of the Bible, of the Holy Scriptures. Although they have been mistranslated, we have been handed down, a watered down version, even though it's still accurate. I'm not taking nothing away from it. Deuteronomy 2 and 4, or 2 through 4, says that not to take or add, not to add or diminish the word. And then when you go to Revelation, I think it's 22, 18, and 19, it says the same thing, that he that addeth to the book, that the plagues shall be added to him. And he that diminishes from the book, his name will be taken out of the book of life. So you have these people who have taken the original people, because it's our history book, out of the book and replaced it with another people. They have taken a lot of other things, changed the names and all of that, which this is not even really my topic. I might do another one tonight, I don't know, or today, I don't know. I've been, the Most High has been dealing with me on David, or Dawid, is what we know is in Hebrew. And Hebrew is a language, and Yasharel is a people. Everybody always talking about, well, Hebrew just a language. Yeah, it is, but that is our language as a people. And at one time it's the original language. And I know I'm kind of deviating from the topic, but like I said, we have to understand that prophecy, that the Most High's word, it does not lie. Prophecy has to be fulfilled. And so you have, a people who have been handed the scriptures, who have continued to pervert the word of Elohim and have made him a lie, and don't really understand the book, and trying to teach the book, but don't even understand the book. And so, my subject is, and I'm not gonna get into, calling no names. I ain't gonna get into, talking about who and what. I ain't gonna do that. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you, and that's what it is, because this is not a commentary. You have people that really spend time with the Most High. Some people, they study to show they self-approve in the word, and they can quote scriptures and go from this scripture to that scripture. But when you understand Hebrew, there are 4 different levels. You got Res, Sud, Midrash, and I can't think of all of them, because I don't even really prepare for all of this stuff. I just be, speaking off, from some of the knowledge that I've learned thus far, But Res is the surface level, and then I forgot the name of the second one, and then you got Midrash, which is where we what they would call confrontation, but we're not being confrontational. We're trying to get an understanding, because so much of the scriptures have been displaced. And so when you look, at the bubonic plague, that was a plague, wasn't it? And we know that, these people changed the scriptures to suit them, and then use the scriptures to manipulate. They manipulated the scriptures to as a reason, to have power, they took it by force. But I'm not even trying to go there. My point is this, that the word cannot lie. And so you have a lot of people preaching commentaries talking about, Jacob was a supplanter. Jacob stole the birthright. No, he didn't. Esau sold it because he had no what is the word I'm looking for? He had no heart. Let's say that, for a lack of words. He had no affection for the word of the Most High. He was in the field. He loved the things of the world. So he sold his birthright, for a morsel. But when you go back and you see the prophecy that was given over Jacob and Esau, then you see that, before they came out the womb, it said that the older would serve the young. And then, a lot of people, see, that's the problem with people. People always looking for somebody to give them an understanding, but you got to do your own work. You got to work out your own soul salvation in fear and trembling. You know what I mean? And so you have to go back and you read the word for yourself. But a lot of us is too busy, pursuing our careers, pursuing our job. We have made our jobs idols, our children idols. We have made our parents and our mothers. But Yah, Elohim comes first in everything. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So you have to understand that it was prophesied over Jacob and Esau that the older would serve the younger. And so, and this happened. Esau first, he sold his birthright, and then, he was tricked out of his inheritance, which, you could call Yaqub or Jacob. You could call him, in English they call him Jacob, but in Hebrew we call him Yaqub. You can call him a supplanter all you want to, but in my eyes, that was prophecy being fulfilled. And why was that prophecy being fulfilled? You need to go back and you need to get a book, even in the Catholic Bible, they have the Apocrypha. That's why I first learned about the Apocrypha. I was sitting in jail, you know what I mean? And I had ran across somebody who had an Apocrypha, and I was like, man, where you get that from? He's like, man, it was in the it's in the Catholic Bible. I'm like, what? That's why I first learned about it, way before, you know what I'm saying, anybody ever I've heard, but you know what I mean, I've never got to read the books. And so, when I finally found out that it was, in the that it was in a Catholic Bible, I ordered one from the chaplain. And, that's where I first started reading, the Apocrypha and seeing the different books. I didn't get to read them like that because, my main focus was on the 66 books at the time. But anyway, I went and read, these other books. Now I'm back here. I've read, I'm taking my time and I'm walking this ancient path and going through these books and seeing and connecting the dots for myself, studying to show myself approved. But, that's what the devil do. He try to keep you busy, try to keep you distracted, so that you don't have time to spend with the Most High, so you can't learn. But like I said, 2 Timothy 2:15 says to study, to show thyself approved, a workman, rightly able to divide the word of truth. So now we dividing the word of truth. So he lost his inheritance because Esau married into another people. When you go back and you look at Abraham, our grandmother Sarah came from his people. You know what I mean? When people talk about race theory and race and all that, it is important. You know what I'm saying? It is important for our race to stick with our race. Everybody else do it, but it's a problem when we do it. But at the same time, we are to love our neighbors. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't live by the scriptures that they read. But anyway, at the same time, what I'm saying, according to the scriptures, is that Yaqub didn't steal nothing. He didn't trick nobody out of nothing. He took it from him because he didn't deserve it. You know, because he would have squandered it like the prodigal son. He would have got the inheritance and he would have squandered it. You know, which eventually happened with us anyway. We squandered it, but you know, thanks to Father Abraham, you know, the father of the faith, that he stayed faithful. And that he made a covenant, and that he stayed disciplined, and that later on through the line the covenant was established. And so you have to understand, when you go back and read the book, you know, that Esau married into the Raphaim or the Nephilim, you know, which was not of his people. You know, and when you look at a lot of people, you know, they like to say that, you know, he was white or whatever, but, you know, white is just the color. But, you know, I believe he was albino, you know what I mean? Because that is a genetic trait, you know, that a leprosy genetic trait that over the years, you know, of breeding with, back into each other. You know what I'm saying? You get a pale skinned person, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to nobody. You know what I'm saying? You know, just, you know, you could go look up the facts, you know what I'm saying? You know, that they migrated, you know, because, man, you ain't got to believe what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just telling you the truth. You know what I mean? And the truth is that, you know, according to the scriptures, if your skin came out a certain color, that's the same thing that happened to Miriam when she came against Moshe. You know, the Most High turned her skin leprosy, and she was kicked out of the camp for 7 days and considered unclean. So when they was considered unclean, they migrated up into the colder weathers. You know, but that's neither here nor there. But like I'm saying, you know, so the birthright was stolen. I mean, not stolen, but Salaki, scratch that. But the birthright was not, they say it was stolen, but it wasn't stolen. It was taken because he didn't deserve it. He would have squandered it. You know, he wouldn't have did right by Elohim with the covenant. So in Jacob, you know, following in the footsteps of his father did, he was also disciplined. He also stood on, his faith was in the Most High. That's why he laid his head on a rock. He made an altar and laid his head on the rock, and I forgot the place where it was. You know, and that rock is Yeshua HaMashiach, that Hamashiach, Yehoshua HaMashiach, Yahushua HaMashiach. That is the rock. And he built the altar to him, you know. And so, yeah, you have to understand, he took it from him, you know, because, and that's why, you know, Yaqub ended up marrying who? Rachel and Laban from who? From his mother Rachel's house. Because they were all what? Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? They were all, you know, even they were Shemites, basically. You know what I mean? They all came out of Shem, you know, because it's 3 different class of people. It's Hamites, Shemites, and then Japhites. You know what I mean? Those are from all the races and everything in between, 50 shades of gray. So you could call it what you want to. People, man, they not standing on nothing. You know what I'm saying? They talking about knowledge and have no wisdom. The Most High said that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of Yahuwah. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna get out of here. You know, I'm gonna continue to, you know, move in silence, but I just had to put that out there. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm probably gonna come back and do something on Dawid and do something on Abraham, you know, who is the father of our faith. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because the Most High is revealing all things. So shalom. Have a blessed morning.